before, but I just want to mention it again because I can see new faces here. Alhamdulillah, and with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not from myself, I've counseled young men who were tested with this terrible disease. Not just one, maybe about 4 or 5 of them. And I've also, 2 of them were young ladies, girls, and they also had the other type of intimacy. So they came to me, alhamdulillah, we were able to convince them. It was a reverse. The only thing I saw that I had to convince them, alhamdulillah, with all 4 of them, it worked. 4 boys and 2 girls. It all worked, alhamdulillah. They're all safe from it. The thing that helped me was that they were Muslims. So they believed in Allah and they didn't like what they were doing. What I mean by like, in their reasoning, they knew it was wrong. And they didn't want to anger Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in their desires, they liked it. But they hated it, they knew it was wrong because they don't want to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with it. So that was a step. They worked their brains. And the other thing, we convinced them, used reverse psychology with them, and reminded them of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, they stopped. I remember one particular sister, she had just met some of these types of girls, and they convinced her that she is a female, homosexual or lesbian. And alhamdulillah, the things I said to her were as follows. I said, sister, before you met these girls, did you think that you were like that? She said, never crossed my mind. I said, so what makes you now think so? She said, when I met these. I said, so you met them and you started thinking like that. How long have you known them for? She said, about 2 months. I said, have you done anything? She said, no. So alhamdulillah, well, as soon as you take the next steps, you start to, it becomes more difficult to get out of it. Whether it's this or whether it's any sin. Any sin we take further and further, the shaitan works step by step. That's how he works. He works step by step. It doesn't work quickly like 10 steps, step by step. And the further you go, the harder it is to come back. Like swimming in an ocean. The further you go deep into it, the more of a challenge to come back it is. That's exactly how sins are, brothers and sisters. You lead from minor to bigger until finally you lose everything, including even your belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is one of the ways. And alhamdulillah, I said to this sister, I said, so they convinced you? She said, you know what, I never thought of it that way. I never thought like that before and now I am. Simple stuff. I said, if I brought you a very handsome young man right now, the one that you like. Now she likes sportsmen, right? And I said, if I brought you a nice sports person, like maybe an Olympian taekwondo champ. And I said, she said, yes, I would marry him. Why not? I would get to know him. I said, alhamdulillah, then that means you are not what they say. So long as you still have that natural desire. Alhamdulillah, she went away. I don't want to go too much detail in case we identify her. But also the other brothers, we had similar occasions with them. One of them took about a year to get out of the situation. It was merely desires and thoughts. And they had done some things, but not too deep. But alhamdulillah, it was reversed. Now I want to ask you a question. As a man or as a woman, do you think it's natural, unless you've got a deformity or you grow too old in age, is it natural for you to lose complete desire towards women? Do you think that's natural? I mean, a man is married. Now I know there's young people here, but inshallah, may Allah get you married soon. But a man, you're married, right? Even after years of marriage, subhanallah, this same woman, after years of marriage, and this same man, after years and years of marriage, Allah has created a natural, biological build-up within our bodies. When this biological build-up grows, you desire your husband, you desire your wife, even though you've been years and years. You'd say to yourself, well, it's time to get bored of them. But this desire stays in you. So it's natural to desire to this opposite gender, but it's unnatural to desire with the other one, because the other one, you can actually get out of it again. And you weren't born with it. Now Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the men have to cover themselves in front of other men in a certain way. Isn't that right? From the navel to the knee, even in front of other men. There is a wisdom behind it, because every person has an innate curiosity. Yes, it's a curiosity. And women have to cover in front of other women from navel to knee as well, because there is also that curiosity, and the shaitan always goes with the curiosity. That's how he made Adam alayhi salam eat from the tree. He didn't eat because Adam alayhi salam was weak in his iman, but he went to his curiosity and he said to him, why? You're forbidden from it because there's a secret, and you're not going to know that secret until you eat from it. So we ate, and what was the secret? Nothing. There was no secret. The shaitan laughed his head off and thought that he had won. But guess what? Adam alayhi salam did not come down to earth so he can stay here. Everyone who dives down into the ocean, the diver that goes down into the ocean comes out with pearls. And Adam alayhi salam dived down to the earth and he's returned back with pearls. And this is the whole idea. We come up with pearls to enter paradise in a more developed way, alhamdulillah. So Lut alayhi salam was sent to these people. Not one of them, not one single person, man or woman, obeyed Lut alayhi salam. It is said in narrations that he stayed for more, Allahu alam how many years, but decades. Not one of them accepted his call. He had daughters, he had 3 daughters, Lut alayhi salam, and a wife. His wife was a disbeliever. And Allah mentions her in the Quran. She used to help the men. She was a matchmaker for the men. Afterwards. And Lut alayhi salam couldn't stay with her either. But he had 3 daughters from her. Subhanallah, it was just for the Prophet that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put him in that situation and she disbelieved. In our time, we're not permitted in our Sharia, in our deen, after the Prophet ﷺ to marry someone like that. But it was a circumstance for him, he was in a necessity. However, his daughters were all believers. And the wife of Lut, her descriptions about her being disbeliever is in the Quran. It's also in hadith that she used to try and help the men. And I'll tell you soon what I'm talking about.